everyone. It's good to see you again. Loved coming by BookTube and watching your videos. Yeah, if you want me to watch your videos, it really helps if you leave a comment so that I am reminded of your presence in my life. And those who do leave comments get visits from me. It's just the way I do business because I have a lot of people that I subscribe to, but I'm really not capable of watching all the videos, so I like to focus on the people that actually watch my videos. So if you want me to watch your videos, leave a comment on mine and let me know that you were here. So, that said, I do love the comments section here at YouTube. It's a great way to keep in touch with people. I've met some wonderful booktubers here and other people that just come by and watch my videos, although they're not making any videos of their own currently. I kind of wish they were because I'd love to get to know them better. So, that said, what I'm reading right now is All the Light We Cannot See, a Pulitzer Prize winning novel by Anthony Doerr, who is an Idaho guy. He lives in Boise, Idaho. I also live in Idaho, but considerably further north than he does. And it takes about 8 hours to drive from here to Boise, and it goes through the mountains, and it's got a couple of mountain passes that are like really steep mountains that I'm not fond of driving on. But there's some beautiful places there. I mean, there's a lot of rivers and rafting and mountains in Idaho, so it's an interesting drive, but a long one. And so I don't go down there very often. Anyhow, All the Light We Cannot See, it is a World War II novel. It takes place in Europe. Two main characters, one from Germany and one from France. And I'm enjoying it very much. I'm really only about a quarter of the way through because this is my bedtime book. I've been reading it just right before I go to bed at night. And the rest of the time I've been really reading at my desk. Yesterday I finished People of the Lie, The Hope for Healing Human Evil. I've always got some nonfiction going on. Even though I wanted to focus more on fiction this year, I'm still doing the nonfiction thing, especially when it comes to my Christian books. And this isn't exactly a Christian book. This is more like a psychiatrist writing, although he did become a Christian when he wrote this book. This was his desire to have evil be considered a mental illness or a behavior disorder of some kind. So it was an interesting book, and I will do a review of this very soon here. So I thought I'd do a little book haul at the same time as I'm doing this TBR. So here we go. I've been buying books. I mean, I'm a bookaholic. I admit it. I confess I have bookaholism really bad. And I have been buying some more books. Why? Because I can. And because they're so beautiful, and I just love looking at them, and I love holding them, and I love getting them in the mail. So this might look familiar to at least one of you booktubers, and that would be Laura Pora, who recommended this book to me. It is So Far from the Bamboo Grove. I believe it is a young adult novel, kind of short, but it looks wonderful. It says, in the final days of World War II, another World War II novel. Let's not be surprised, there's so many of them. In the final days of World War II, Koreans were determined to take back control of their country from the Japanese and end the suffering caused by the Japanese occupation. As an 11-year-old girl living with her Japanese family in Northern Korea, Yoko is suddenly fleeing for her life with her mother and her older sister Ko, that's the older sister's name, trying to escape to Japan, a country Yoko hardly knows. The journey is terrifying and remarkable. It is a true story of courage and survival that highlights the plight of individual people in wartime. In the midst of suffering, Acts of kindness, as exemplified by a family of Koreans who risked their own lives to help Yoko's brother, are inspiring reminders of the strength and resilience of the human spirit. I guess this is maybe a memoir, maybe not just fiction, but a memoir too. I don't know. So, when I finish All the Light We Cannot See, that is the next one on my list of books that I want to read, and it's also on my list of books for the 2018 Pop Sugar Reading Challenge, so I'll be making progress on that at the same time I'm reading it. Now here's another one that I have on my list for the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge. It's called The Buried Book, and I think the prompt that I chose this book for was a book written about the year in which you were born, and I was born in 1952. Don't be shocked. Yes, it was a long time ago, I know. 1952 is my year of birth. It was a good year. I was born. And, yeah, The Buried Book. Looks good, doesn't it? It says it's 1952 and Jasper isn't allowed to ask questions or make a fuss. He's lucky to have a home and must keep his mouth shut and his ears open to stay in his uncle's good graces. No one knows where his mother went or whether she's coming back. Desperate to see her again, he must take matters into his own hands. From the farm he embarks on a treacherous search. Just try saying that. Treacherous search. Okay. He has to embark on one of those. That will take him to the squalid hideaways of Detroit and back again, through tawdry taverns, peep shows, and gambling houses. Oh my goodness, what am I getting into? So this was copyright, published in 2016. It's kind of recent. I don't know if anyone out there in BookTube land has read this one, but I chose it because it took place in 1952, which is the year I was born. And I'm glad I found it. It looks really good. So what else did I buy? You know, I had to buy something. Well, this is also on my list for the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge this year. And it is All Quiet on the Western Front. The greatest war novel of all time, it says. So it's a classic. I'm sure you've all heard of it. I, for some reason, have never read it. I can't say it's really the greatest war novel of all time. I've read quite a few other war novels, and I look forward to reading this one. Kind of sort of like, although it is a war novel, and I kind of think it could be kind of unpleasant on that level, because often they are. So I was led to go to Barnes & Noble. I couldn't resist it, and I got this book about Guide to State Parks. I have a thing for the state parks, and I'm going to be doing some traveling soon, and so I bought this just to inspire me with places I could go to and things I could see, and yeah, nature and all that stuff. So it has state parks listed from all the states in the United States, and the only state that I'm really familiar with as far as the list of available state parks is California. I've been to quite a few of them because I lived in California most of my life before I moved to Idaho in 2013. So I know it only lists a few of the California state parks, a very few, and so I assume that is the same for the other states, but it gives a sampling, and that will have to do for now. When I get to those states, if I go to those states, I will just start with what's here and then expand from there and see what else there is that I can see and do and learn about. Now, I got this to show you because it is a notebook, Code and Quill Traveler Notebook, the notebook for creatives. It says, this notebook is the place where new ideas and visions are born. It serves as the primary interface for bringing the vast ingenuity from our inner world into the physical one. Oh man, that is so cool. And it goes on, and I won't read you the whole thing, but I will show you the notebook. I actually got this notebook because I saw it on somebody else's channel. Her name is Burgess, and she has a journaling channel, and so she showed us that she bought one of these and it looked so cool. Of course I had to go out and buy one for myself. Now it's just got this little ampersand on it. They come in white or black. The cool thing about this particular notebook is that on one side it has the dot matrix to write on, and the other side is ruled. So I'll show you a close-up, which I think is a very cool little notebook. And this is going to be for writing. I'm going to be recording things regarding my novels that I'm editing and progress that I'm making on writing, either editing, writing itself, or who knows, maybe I'll even publish another book one of these days. That's sort of the end goal. Now this one, it's all because of Lucas, really. Confessions of St. Augustine. Seriously, I was looking at the Confessions of St. Augustine at Barnes & Noble the other day when I was there, and I wanted to buy a copy, but for some reason I put it back because I thought, well, I've got an old copy, an old translation on my Kindle, so why buy another one? But then I talked to Lucas because, well, he's a booktuber. What did he call himself? He changed his channel name, something presumptuous. The presumptuous guy. He's very cool and he's very scholarly, and I love his channel. Anyhow, he has been reading the Confessions of St. Augustine, and he recommended that I get this particular version, which is newly translated by Peter Constantine. So I'm going to be reading this, and I'm probably going to be reading it very slow because it's very long, and I'm a slow reader, and probably as I read his confessions, I will be meditating on those and writing a few confessions of my own. So it's not going to be a fast read, but it is going to be started pretty soon. We're almost to the end here. At the end, I have purchased a book about lettering and modern calligraphy, and it's my intention to learn how to write better as in calligraphy. So I got this book, which is a beginner's guide, lettering and modern calligraphy, learn hand lettering and brush lettering by Paper Peony Press. So anyhow, it's a start, and I also got the pens that I will be using. These are Tombow calligraphy brush pens. Close up. And then this is a calligraphy workbook, which is just basically lined pages. See, for practicing. I assume that to get good at calligraphy, you have to practice a lot. Now, I like my handwriting, and so it shouldn't be too hard to get started, but to be perfect, it's going to take a long time. And I also bought some Jelly Roll metallic pens. I have a few of these already, and they are so bright and sparkly, I decided I would get the whole set. So, for you who like pens, I will be showing these on my creativity channel, which is, if you look in the YouTube search engine, it is Linda Jo Martin. I call the channel Adventures in Creativity, but the channel name is Linda Jo Martin, and that is my name, so hopefully you won't have too much trouble remembering it. Now, I think I've showed you everything that I was going to show you, and I am not showing you my pile of Christian books because I'm going to save that for my Christian channel, which is Redeemed in Love, and you can also find that through the search engine, or there should be links in the description of this video on YouTube. Now, to go visit all the people that leave a message here, to leave a comment, I will be so excited to see what you're doing on YouTube these days. Happy reading, everyone. Bye.